She-Hulk, Attorney at Law Episode 8 finally features the much-anticipated Daredevil cameo, but there are lots of other Easter eggs as well. Marvel's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law has featured a lot of cameos, so much so that it's become something of a running gag. But one cameo has been more eagerly anticipated than any other: the return of Charlie Cox's Daredevil. He made his mainstream Marvel Cinematic Universe debut in Spider-Man. Daredevil She-Hulk cameo kicks off in fairly traditional superhero fashion, with the two clashing in their first encounter onto fronts, both in a superhero brawl and professionally. Matt Murdock is hired by She-Hulk's tailor, Luke Jacobson, when Jennifer Walters is forced to sue him for damages after the superhero leapfrog's super suit malfunction. Matters escalate when her client kidnaps Luke to force him to improve his suit, and after an initial misunderstanding, She-Hulk and Daredevil team up. Meanwhile, the overarching plot of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law continues in the background, as the Engineer prepare to make their move to ruin She-Hulk. Here are all the Easter eggs and Marvel Cinematic Universe references in She-Hulk Episode 8. She-Hulk Episode 8 introduces the Marvel Cinematic Universe Leapfrog. She-Hulk Episode 8 opens with the introduction of Leapfrog, a character lifted straight from the comics, where he invented a powerful EO armor, and initially used it to operate as a criminal. This Leapfrog is instead heir to a small fortune, and used that money to pay for a costume and equipment. Inspired by the Avengers, he's taken to operating as a vigilante who deals with street-level crime, but he's certainly willing to commit crimes to achieve his goals, as he proves when he kidnaps Luke Jake. She-Hulk Episode 8 reintroduces Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. Charlie Cox's Daredevil has become a key part of Phase 4, making a string of cameos ahead of his own Marvel's Disney TV show. She-Hulk Episode 8 takes a more humorous approach to the character, demonstrating the wits that have often been shown in the comics when he worked alongside Spider-Man. It's difficult to say whether this will be a consistent attribute of the mainstream Daredevil, or whether it serves as a feature simply because it's in keeping with the She-Hulk series. Little is revealed about Daredevil's status quo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, beyond the fact he still practices law in Hell's Kitchen. The Marvel Sokovia Accords have officially been repealed. It's interesting to see the Sokovia Accords referenced in relation to common, street-level vigilantes with a focus on the invasion of privacy, a theme that may hint the Marvel television show are indeed being considered canon. Murdock's dialogue suggests the Sokovia Accords have only recently been repealed, as he wouldn't mention them if they'd been rendered defunct during the blood. The dialogue also reveals why Matt Murdock had to step in to defend Jacobson. Had Jennifer Walters' opening gambit been successful, Jacobson would have been forced to release his client list, meaning Murdock's own secret identity would have been exposed. It's quite possible Daredevil came to regret hiring Luke because of the events of She-Hulk Episode 8. After all, he's now publicly connected to a man who makes superhero costumes. She-Hulk Episode 8 reveals Todd has a Wakandan war spear. One of the oddest scenes in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law Episode 8 sees Todd force Jennifer Walters to meet up with him so he can show off a photo of his Wakandan war spear. It's interesting to see Wakandan artifacts are now up for sale, although apparently only on the black market and collector's items, given Todd paid $1 million to acquire it. The Wakandan war spear is made of vibranium, and naturally, the Wakandans want it back. A vibranium spear could potentially hurt a She-Hulk. She-Hulk Reveals Marvel Cinematic Universe superhero costumes revealed. She-Hulk Episode 8 unveils both She-Hulk and Daredevil superhero costumes. She-Hulk is a smart purple and white outfit inspired by more modern interpretations of the character. Thankfully rather more tasteful than some of her classic outfits. Harry reveals. Meanwhile, let's choose his traditional blood red in favor of a mustard yellow costume he wore that's lifted straight from the comics. There, Ari's yellow supersuit was homage to his father. She-Hulk Episode 8 features the classic Daredevil theme tune. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law Episode 8 features a delightful moment when Daredevil introduces himself, with the classic Marvel Net theme tune playing in the background. Marvel increasingly seems to be using music for audio cues. The animated series The Me Too confirmed the Muse introduction of mutants in Ms. Marvel and returned again in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Each case is an example of smart fan service in the franchise. She-Hulk Episode 8 riffs on Ari's hallway scenes. She-Hulk riffs on the Marvel Net hallway scenes, which became traditional after Daredevil Season 1. Inspired by the Raid Redemption, the first hallway scene was a realistically gritty action scene featuring impressive stunt work and tremendous fight choreography. She-Hulk, of course, is far less suited to a hallway scene than Daredevil, and her intervention brings it to an abrupt end. A final Red Hulk tease in She-Hulk Episode 8. She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall to speculate the series finale will feature a Red Hulk. There really is a Red Hulk in the comics. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, although he's unlikely to appear in She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Still, the comment is an amusing one. A self-conscious nod to the fact Marvel's Disney TV shows have all tended to feature grand mystery villains who make their presence felt in the innings.